Today we're going to predict the WrestleMania 42 card. The Royal Rumble just happened, so let's do it way too early and see how many that I get right. First off, we've already got one established. It's Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. Roman Reigns is fighting for the acknowledgement of CM Punk. He wants Punk to acknowledge him. However, the belt is on the line. It's an added bonus. And as an added bonus for watching this video, you can win the belt as well. All you got to do to win this title right here, free shipping, free everything, is comment below, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell, ding, 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 notification. And you can win this belt. It's not a toy, people. It's a replica. And Roman Reigns, CM Punk, that's your night 2 main event. I've got 14 other matches that we're going to call, though, one being on SmackDown. All right, so I also think a next matchup is going to be Dirty Dom versus Finn Balor. I think JD McDonough, there's a slight chance we have a triple threat, but I don't think so. I think JD comes down and helps the winner of said match. He's bound to return anytime soon. Finn Balor, they're making a big deal about him right now, but we all know he's not going to win the Elimination Chamber, so what if they continue the push, though? He leaves the chamber a loser, and Dom says something, and Finn Balor finally crashes out and sets up a matchup at Mania. I do think Dirty Dom will lose here. I think Dirty Dom will lose here, and Finn will remain a heel. Don't worry, though. Dirty Dom's not done for the evening, or for WrestleMania weekend, that is. Now, let's go to Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill, I do think, will fight Bianca Belair. My fingers are crossed that Bianca's going to return at the chamber. No one knows if she's coming back, when she's coming back. It's all a mystery. However, if she does not come back, and I am just hoping that we have Bianca versus Jade, but if Bianca does not come back, then I think it would be Charlotte Flair. Right now, it seems like Charlotte and Jade have kind of eyeballed each other here and there, so it's like we could start that feud immediately if we don't have Bianca. And that leads to my next match, all right? So this is a TLC match or a ladder match for the women's tag team titles. A lot of teams are involved right now. We're definitely having Rhea and Io, the Kabuki Warriors. We're probably going to have Lash legend Nia Jax and Lyra and Bayley. There's going to be like 800 teams in here. And if Bianca does return, that means Charlotte and Alexa will be in here. Now, unfortunately, though, if it is Charlotte versus Jade, then there will be no Alexa Bliss. I don't think she'll have a partner. Unless, actually, you know what they should do? They should have Alexa Bliss then call on Sol Ruka to be her tag team. That would actually be pretty cool right there. And then, pretty much any women's tag team, you just throw in here. Chelsea and Alba Fire could be in here. Julia and Kiana James, the Bella Twins. This will be like a Royal Rumble with a ladder involved in it. Now we got the Vision. The Vision is in a state of flux. There's a masked man attacking them. It's probably Seth Rollins, but we don't know if it is or not. We don't know if Seth is not injured. Braun Breaker just got injured, so we just don't know what's happening. I'm thinking, though, somehow, some way, through all of this, I was thinking Bronson Reed versus Seth Rollins, but honestly, I think it's going to be LA Knight versus Seth Rollins. Something's telling me that maybe Seth comes in, and what if they just give the faction back to Seth Rollins somehow? I don't even know. Would they do that? They might. They honestly might. Triple H loves to tell the story he wanted to tell. If there's an injury, a lot of times he'll just put the story on pause and just restart the story once the injury has completed or you're back. So I'm not even sure if Seth Rollins isn't back leading the Vision by the time WrestleMania happens. But whatever the case may be, I think it's going to be Seth and LA Knight. I think they're going to want to give LA Knight a top spot, and because of the injury to Seth, taking him out of the crosshairs of Roman Reigns, and then because of the Braun Breaker injury, taking him out of the crosshairs of Seth Rollins, now Seth doesn't really have anyone to fight, and LA Knight, well, he'll be looking for someone. So I see those two going at it. If Seth is still injured, I'm thinking Chris Jericho versus LA Knight. What if we did that, huh? I think either we have Chris Jericho as a backup for LA Knight, or they keep Chris Jericho off for the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania. Let's stick with the vision. I'm thinking Logan Paul. They're always going to want to put Logan Paul in a whole high-profile match. Javon Evans versus Logan Paul. That would be a pretty stellar match. And man, boy howdy, that would give Javon Evans, like, that could draw in a whole new crowd, because Logan Paul has a bunch of young people watching him. They would watch that match and see Javon just doing the crazy things that he does. That could literally bring new fans into the product. Javon versus Logan Paul. I don't know how Javon gets mixed up with the Vision, but I can see it happen. I can see it happening. The Intercontinental matchup right here. I believe right now it's AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch at Elimination Chamber. I think it's a non-title match to determine whether or not she gets a title match at Mania against Becky. I hate when that happens. I hate when they do that, a non-title match to determine if you could get a title match. I think that sucks, but I think that's what we're doing. So either way, it's going to be Becky versus AJ Lee. But what I'm thinking happens is we make it a fatal four-way and we add Natalya and Maxine Dupree in this. Or not Natalya, excuse me, Natty. And it's four corners, because Natty has a problem with all three of them. Actually, she hates Maxine Dupree, her rookie upstart. She eliminated Becky, so now Becky wants revenge on Natty. And she attacked AJ Lee to get at Maxine Dupree. So, and then Maxine Dupree, She's friends with AJ Lee, apparently. She hates Natty. She hates Becky. Becky hates everybody. So there's room for all four of them to actually be somewhat involved in a matchup. And it's not just throw them all together. They have a story. Becky could make it work. She's the best in the world. And that's not just me saying it. That's Sports Illustrated. Brings us to Liv Morgan. She is the other Royal Rumble winner. I do see her picking Stephanie Vakir. But there is room for a triple threat here. Raquel Rodriguez has had a problem with Stephanie, and she's kind of alluding to having unresolved issues with Liv tossing her out of the Royal Rumble. A viewer, I forget the name, I do apologize, did throw this out there. What if Raquel Rodriguez wins the Elimination Chamber and she actually, instead of picking Jade Cargill, picks Stephanie Vakir, and it's like, wait, what? And now we got a triple threat. So, like, either we do a triple threat or just one-on-one, and then after Liv wins, then we could do a proper Raquel versus Liv program. But yeah, I think this would be, I think there's actually a lot more opportunity this year than usual to make triple threats and fatal four-ways actually make sense. Usually they're just kind of shoehorned together to get every wrestler on the card, but this year there seems to be a lot of opportunities. Now, I did think that there was going to be another triple threat. I thought it was going to be Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes, but I no longer think that. I'm actually thinking, I probably should have saved this for last, but no, I'll just do it now because I started talking. I'm actually thinking that it's going to be Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. I think finally Randy's just going to turn heel. Probably Cody eliminates him at Chamber. Randy crashes out, does a punt kick on him, and allows Jacob Fatu to get the pin. And it's going to be Jacob versus Drew, night one main event, and Randy versus Cody, just a grudge match. And that would be enticing. That would be enticing. Let's talk the SmackDown before WrestleMania. I think we'll have another Andre the Giant Battle Royal. I think they're going to do two in a row, and it's going to be Carmelo Hayes winning. Carmelo Hayes will win the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. If he doesn't win it, then Javon will win it. And then Logan Paul will have to fight someone else, I guess. But I don't think they're going to give Carmelo a match on Mania, unfortunately. So he wins the Battle Royal twice in a row. And you're probably thinking, why wouldn't they have the U.S. title on WrestleMania? They will. They will have the U.S. title at WrestleMania. But by then, I think Carmelo would have lost it to Trick Willie. Trick Willie will be your U.S. champion, and he's going to defend it against Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn and Trick almost since day one of Trick on the main roster. Well, they've been at odds with each other. So, yes, Trick. I think that would actually be a pretty decent feud. But please, dear God, though, let Trick Williams win that one. Oh, my God. Please let Trick Williams win that one. But, yes, I see that right there. Tag team titles. We got the Usos. The Usos are champs. I really thought for a moment of putting Logan Paul and Austin Theory versus the Usos because Jay and Jimmy has had lots of problems with the Vision. However, I'm going to go with the Lucha Brothers. I think the Lucha Brothers would be a good, solid team to fight the Usos. Problem is, they're both faces. I would love, though, if we could somehow get Penta to be a heel. If you haven't seen heel Penta, you're missing out. Heel Penta is so freaking good. Go watch Lucha Underground if you want to see heel Penta. But I think the Lucha Brothers unite against the Usos. And then speaking of Luchas, let's talk about the original Lucha. Grande Americano versus Grande Americano. I think it's going to be a mask versus mask match. Somehow, some way, WWE is using AI to have Grande Americano fight himself. But, sports entertainment. And I do see this as a mask versus mask matchup. And I do think that this angle might have jumped the shark, but I've been a Grande Americano supporter since, way back in the 80s. So, I'm going to love whatever he does regardless. Oba Femi, I think, will be facing Brock Lesnar. They did start this at Royal Rumble. It doesn't necessarily mean anything. We had Gunther step up to Brock Lesnar one time, but I do believe that is where we are headed. Brock versus Oba. Unless we're doing Brock versus Cody. Don't want to do that. I think Oba Femi is the way they're going to do it. And now some people might think it's too soon. That is a valid criticism. But that said, I'm telling you what I think is going to happen, not necessarily what I want to happen. However, I do want Oba and Brock to happen. And I do want Oba to beat him. Now the final matchup, though, is Gunther. Gunther with his career killer gimmick. I thought maybe put him against Randy Orton, and Randy Orton's just mad about John Cena losing, and this could start the feud that eventually ends in 4 years with Gunther retiring Randy Orton. But no, I'm putting Gunther versus Rey Mysterio. This won't be the final match of the night, but because we already knew that Roman and Punk were happening, I just made that first. So we'll end with this match. We have Gunther versus Rey Mysterio, and how do they even get involved with each other? Well, who did Gunther just murder? Dragon Lee, the protege of Rey Mysterio. So they will fight. The career will be on the line, and I don't know who's going to win this one, honestly. I could see them not retiring Rey right here, but they pretend they're gonna. But either way, we have Gunther is going to be pummeling. He's going to be beating Rey up really, really bad, right? And at some point, it's getting horrific. Dirty Dom is going to come out to rescue his dad. This will get the fans on Dom's side. We are going to turn Dominic face here, and to do that, we gotta reconcile those two. So this beatdown will trigger Dom to come out. Then he gets his heat back, or his cheers back from losing the Intercontinental match earlier in the show. Now we could have Dom cost Gunther the match, and then Rey could continue wrestling, or Gunther could just win and then keep beating him up. Either way, though, this match is happening, and Dom will save Rey, and boom, instant babyface, and those two can hug and have their best WrestleMania moment ever. And there you have it, boys and girls. Those are my WrestleMania 42 predictions. Tell me some matches you think will happen, and have yourselves a great day.